And we are live from the heartland of America. I'm Jeffey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, coming to you from an undisclosed location deep in that same heartland. And from my heart straight to yours, at least, that is our hope. Great news today, interesting news today. And of course, we always know that the most important thing we tell you is that you do not have original sin. You've got the spark of divinity within. You don't have to go to anybody's savior on bended knee because you don't need salvation. You're divine, you're sovereign, and you're free. And the show today ties right into that. If you missed the earlier podcast, Excellence with Halo, make sure you watch it. Not a lot of mistech talk, a lot of talk about stuff that we would just sit around and talk about. Halo and I, two guys trying to change the world at the cafe, the coffee shop. So really, really good stuff. And we weren't doing that. And we were 6 feet apart, like, 1,000 miles apart, but that's going to change as well. Big things coming, big things happening. And folks, the world is not bad and getting worse. It's good and getting better. And it's about to be better than it's ever been in a short time. I guarantee it. This part of the show brought to you by Mistech. And Mistech will tune you to the resonance, the Schumann resonance of the earth, the ideal Schumann resonance of the earth, put you in harmony instead of chaos. We've got blood tests to prove it. We've got EMF tests to prove it. We've got Carillion photography to prove it. We've cracked the 5G energy matrix and are bringing out products to dissipate that and yet allow your connectivity to stay undisturbed. So go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mistech logo, and you'll save a full 20%. But right now, let's go into the Christian Whistleblower Study Bunker. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm amazed at the AHAK. You call it the B-BLE. I call it the AHAK because we don't want to say that other word because we don't want to bring that resonant energy to bear because we understand, not everybody does, but we understand that words you say cause frequencies. Pictures you show cause frequencies. Spells you read or show cause frequencies. And we don't want to allow any imbalanced, unbalanced, non-productive or non-positive vibes or energies within our sphere if we can't help it. So the AHAK, it continues to amaze me. Because the more I begin to hack it, and I am hacking the AHAK, we're hacking the AHAK. And the more hacking that we do and the more that we discover, it boggles my mind. I mean, I used to be maybe once a week, I'd get something mind-blowing like this, but it's starting to happen every single day. And this one, I'm telling you, is no different. Learn what this means. Mercy, not sacrifice. Wait till you see this, folks. It's going to be mind blowing. And we're talking about Matthew chapter 9, verses 12 and 13. And it says, on hearing this, HERU said, it is not the healthy that need a doctor, but the sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners. So one of the things about Hebrew and one of the things about Greek, not much punctuation. So when he says, it's not the healthy who needs a doctor, but the sick. And he says, I've not come to call the righteous, but sinners. He says, I desire not mercy, not sacrifice. Which one is he talking about when he says, go and learn what this means? When he said, go and learn what this means, does he mean the first one, it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick? Or is it the second one, I desire mercy, not sacrifice? Which one of those does he say we're supposed to go and learn what it means? You can't tell. You cannot tell from the Greek text itself. Now, you might tell me what you think or what you believe or what you feel, but that doesn't make it right. So why don't we just look at what the text says? And since the text is inconclusive, why don't we look at them both? That way we know both. And this is the AHAK code at its finest. And this is hacking the AHAK code at its finest. So we have to go back to the LEMISH Testament, and we'll have to look into the Roman Testament in order to get the full meaning. We're going to search both of them to find out, to learn what this means. It's a perfect example of the AHAK code, because what you're going to have here is you're going to have a dung with a diamond and then a dung. So you got a dung sandwich, or is it a diamond sandwich? Because the diamond is sandwiched in dung. It's like an Oreo with shit in the middle. No, it's like an Oreo with two things of shit and one of diamond, which wouldn't be an Oreo at all, but you know what I mean. So we're hacking the AHAK here in the matrix. So let's take a look at what this has to say. Now, if we're going to find out, I desire mercy, not sacrifice. If we're going to find out what that means, if we're going to go learn what that means, we've got to know where that is. And where that is in the book of Hosea. One of the minor prophets, Hosea, Joel, and Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah. I got them all memorized still from all of that Bible college stuff. So, Hosea chapter 6, verses 5 through 7. And we'll probably end up pulling up some of those because we're not on the Cousins Club, where I don't go quite into as much depth because it's veteran cousins that know that we go in great depth and detail and prove everything. So we don't always do it there. Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Hosea, Joel, and Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah. But we'll do it here because we have guests, we have visitors, we have people that are brand new to the channel. And we want you to see how we do what we do. And this is how we do it. So Hosea chapter 6, verse 5 through 7. Let's just go ahead and show it to you now. What it says, folks, is this. It's the verse that was being quoted there in Matthew. And it says, I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and knowledge of Mon, or the divine, more than burnt offerings. But the men have all transgressed the covenant. They've all dealt treacherously against me. So if we want to understand the Matthew entry into this book, which is really designed to keep us in the dark, but if you know how to wield it, you can find passages to the light, tells us we got to learn this. So we're going to learn what this means. Okay, so let's learn what this means. I desired mercy and not sacrifice. But what you really got to do is go up to the next verse and get the context. Therefore, I have hewed them by my prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth and my judgments that go as the light before them. I desire mercy, not sacrifice, knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. They've transgressed, they've gone astray. Here's the whole context of this thought. And we've got to start up here, because here's where it all begins. Therefore, I have hewed them by the prophets. That's your full context. Now you understand, you got a chance to understand what it means, and this is foundational to what's going on here today. This really probably is one of the keys to understanding the AHAK. And it's going to be, if you're a Christian or you're a person that still believes in the AHAK, AHAK is spelled B-I-B-L-E. If you hear a word you don't understand, look in the box below. We're trying not to say words that bring a non-benevolent, energetic presence. So, therefore who's saying this? The Mon, or the God of the Bible, is saying this. So he has what? He has hewn. What does hewn mean? Hewn means to hew out, to cleave. Let's keep going down. It means to chop, to cut in pieces, to hew in pieces. So the Mon of the Bible, the one you worship, says that he himself chops, cuts in pieces, hews in pieces, them. Who's them? Us are them. We're them. People are them. Humanity's them. He has hewn, chopped, cut in pieces, and hewn men and women. Oh, Jeff, that's just metaphorical language being employed by the writer in reference to the activities of the sparkly, clean divine. Have you read the whole LEMISH, you call it OLD Testament? Have you read it? He has literally hewn people. He has literally chopped them in pieces, cut them in pieces, hewn them in pieces, literally, repeatedly, over and over. So don't tell me it's metaphorical language. He has chopped them with a Ginsu like he worked at Benihana's. Us, people. I have chopped people up. But how has he chopped people up? By the prophets. What are the prophets? They're his spokesmen, remember? They're his speakers. They're his ShamWow guys. So what is it that chopped people up? Because the Mon of the Bible won't do his own wet work. He's never showed up. He's not showing up now. He's not actually doing his own wet work. He's the Charlie Manson of deities. He just gives orders and makes people do it. And in this case, who does the chopping? Who does the hewing? Who does the cutting in pieces? His prophets, his ShamWow guys. His spokespeople are the ones that have done this chopping. They've done this hewing. And that's all prophets do, is bring death and destruction and curse and bad news. Every one of them, from the first one to all the ones that today still call themselves by that name. Now, they don't always literally do it. They do it a lot of times literally. But how do the prophets, other than literally chop up people? By the words of the Mon, which come from what? The AHAK. So he is bragging about chopping people up into pieces by the words of his AHAK, his book that is spoken forth by the prophets. Wow. Think about what that is saying, folks. Think about what that is saying. What he's saying is that he has chopped, cut in pieces, hewn in pieces people by his piece of shit prophets, because that's what they do. That's what prophecy's about, destroying people, stealing people's hope, stealing people's joy, stealing people's manifesting power, stealing people's intention from the possibility of manifesting something good and positive and victorious, because they're told from then till now how bad it's going to be. How bad it is. It's bad and it's getting worse. It'll never be the same. It's going to be worse, worse, worse. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's bad, bad, bad. That's what they do. They cut your spirit in pieces. They chop your hope in pieces. They hew your intention of positive manifestation into pieces by the piece of shit prophets who are in business to destroy people. Destroy hope, destroy vision, destroy dreams. And that's the key to this kingdom, cousin. And notice, at no time do my fingers leave my hands. I'm right in the book. They call themselves prophets and they're not in the book. I am an anti-prophet and I'm all over the book because they can't tell you what it really says. Or you'll stop watching them and you'll stop sending them money and you'll stop paying their bills. And then they might have to get a real job, and most of them lack the basic qualifications to flip a burger at McDonald's. Hewed them. It's very simple. Hewed them. The prophets hew them. How? By the words. What are they hewing? Literally people many times, but hopes, dreams, expectations, intentions. Slay means kill or destroy or murder. He said, I have slain people, killed, destroyed, murdered. Literally, yes. Look in the Old Testament, it's full of him killing people. Look in the Old Testament, it's full of him destroying people. Look in the Old Testament, it's full of him murdering people. By what? The words of his mouth. What are the words? The scriptures. What do these people use to justify the fact that he's made people kill multiple millions? But it's the scripture. What do these people use to justify the fact that if you believe his story, he's got millions, even billions of people right now burning in a hell, and they will burn there for eternity when they're joined by millions and billions more that didn't do what he said? And how is that murdering, that killing, that destroying justified? By the words of his mouth, by the scriptures. He said it was all right to do, so it has to be all right to do. Are you sure that's the kind of divinity you want to serve? Are you sure that's the kind of person you want to be? It's up to you. So that's what that means. I really am in the business of chopping people up and killing them with my words, their hopes, their dreams, and many times their lives, literally. But I desired mercy. It's a contradiction. Not really, not when you look at it in the original language like we're about to do. It shows you exactly what he's talking about. And I know that if you're a Christian, this makes you upset. I know that if you still believe the AHAK, it makes you upset. But at least it gives you a chance to get it right and to understand the truth of what's being told. And it gives you the chance to take yourself out of this horrific system that you're buying into and supporting. So we know what he really does. He really chops people up, kills, destroys, and murders them through his bitch-ass prophets and the words of his bitch-ass AHAK. That's what it's there for. In case you're wondering, prophets are there to chop you up, kill, and destroy you. In case you're wondering, your B-I-B-L-E, that's the book for me. That's the book for chopping you, killing you, destroying you, cutting you up in pieces. I didn't say it. He did. For I desire mercy. What does desire mean? I delight in. I delight in what? Mercy. I delight in goodness and kindness. Here's how you know Rome wrote this. It's dripping with sarcasm. It's dripping with dark Roman humor. We show what he really does, chops people up, kills them, murders them, and destroys them. And then it sits back like a great Roman comic and says, I chop you up and I kill you and I destroy you because I love you so much. Can't you see it's a great comedic act of dark Roman humor? It's perfect. Here's what I really want, but here's the face I present to you, that I delight in mercy. I delight. What I want is mercy or kindness towards men. What is he, the old saying is, actions speak louder than words. His words are, if you took him at face value, which you're foolish to do so, but his words are, I desire kindness of men towards men. That's what mercy means. But his actions are, I chop you up, I destroy you, I wreck you, and I wreck and destroy your hopes and dreams for a better world by doping you up with prophets that are all doom and gloom all the time. It's brilliant Roman satire. It's brilliant Roman wit. It's brilliant Roman humor, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, folks. That's exactly what you're seeing here. Desired means he delights in making us think he wants. He delights in making us think he wants kindness towards men, while he demonstrates through his prophets and his words that he wants the opposite. It's brilliant Roman satire, wit, and humor. Plus, what is this kindness of men towards men? Is that not what the diamond of love your neighbor as you love yourself is? How do you love your neighbor? Well, as you love yourself. Well, doesn't that mean that before you can love your neighbor, you must first love yourself? How can you be kind towards another man or another woman when you're not kind to yourself? This is where you discover that you're divine, you're sovereign, you're free. You don't have original sin. You got the spark of divinity within. Oh, that makes you be kind to yourself. And then you look at your neighbor. Wow. That neighbor is just like me. They got the spark of divinity within. Whether they're manifesting their divinity, sovereignty, or freedom or not currently is irrelevant, because I know they got the spark of divinity within them, which makes you treat them differently. When you find out that you're not a dirty, rotten sinner saved by grace at best, on your way to hell if you don't stay perfect between now and then, which we all know you can't do. You got the spark of divinity within. You're living life and life more abundant. Peace that passes all understanding. So you're kind to yourself. You give yourself a break. Same thing with your neighbor. Oh, he, she, they got the spark of divinity within too. So I need to be kind to them. That's what true divinity wants. That's what we're really here for. And that's what we're really programmed to do. Be kind to one another. But the joke is that he says that's what he wants while he's chopping you up, hewing you up, killing and destroying your hopes, your dreams, your manifestation for a better future, and your body when he takes a fancy to do so. It's so much easier to get this when you are physically, mentally, and spiritually optimized. And the C60 Purple Power is one of the best things that I've ever found to bring you to optimization physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Plus, it keeps you alive. Cliff I says he'd be dead if it wasn't for this stuff, this brand of this stuff. So go to c60purplepower.com, use the code TCW10, and find out what Cliff I is talking about. Find out what Jeffey Daugherty is talking about. You will be so, so glad that you did. And as we move on, I desire mercy, kindness of men towards men, not sacrifice. Sacrifice is very simple, burnt offerings. But yet, if you want to get saved, you got to accept what? A sacrifice. It's not just mercy, it's a sacrifice. Sacrifice of what? Dead guy on a stick. HERU DISTU on the implement of human torture. If he really desired mercy and not sacrifice, then why is the key to getting anything from this God a sacrifice? You can't even get to this God without a sacrifice, a human sacrifice nonetheless. Christian, how do you answer these questions? And if any of you preachers, teachers, prophets are out there and you've got the fortitude for a debate on these subjects, I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game. Say when. I won't hold my breath. And I desire the knowledge of God, which is, the word is da'ath. It means emerging revelation knowledge that you don't get from a book or a preacher or a teacher. You get from being tuned in. He wants to make you think he desires you to have this type of revelation knowledge when that's exactly what he doesn't want you to desire. And he says he doesn't want offerings, but that's exactly what he wants. What's the first thing he wanted when they got off the ark, if that story was true? Can you smell what them bitches got cooking? It's a burnt offering. I love it. I love the smell of burnt offerings in the morning. Smells like victory. Your Bible Mon delights in the fact that he has used his prophets and his AHAK to convince us that he wants kindness of men towards men and not slaughter, not emerging revelation knowledge. And he wants kindness of men towards men and not slaughter, and that he wants emerging revelation knowledge and not blood feast. I can't hear what you're saying because what you're doing is talking too loud. Don't tell me what he says. Explain to me what he does and what he's been doing. Super powerful stuff. So now we know what he meant by that first half, don't we? And he's pissed because some people have transgressed against him. We've passed over and acted treacherously towards him. Damn right we have. We have gone and learned what all this really means. We figured out what he has done and what he's been doing and what he wants to do, and we are not going to be quiet about it. We found out that he wants to chop people into pieces. We found out that he wants to murder people with his prophets, with his word. We found out that he's joking when he says he wants kindness of men towards men. And he really does want sacrifice. In fact, the key to getting anything from him is a sacrifice. He doesn't want revelation knowledge. He wants you to shut up and eat some more cannibalistic meals and give him some more sacrifices. And he doesn't like it when men like me transgress his business. And when we deal treacherously against him, I have not even started dealing treacherously against him. I have not even got going on transgressing him. We know what he's done. We know what he's doing. We know what he wants to do, and we are not going to be quiet about it. His kingdom is coming down to the ground. That's what this is all about. We know what it means now. We've gone and learned what this means, both the prior and the latter statements surrounding that exhortation to go and learn what this means. We learned what the first one meant. We learned what the last one meant. And now we know that it means that he, the Mon of the Bible, the God of the Bible, is a sick, psychopathic, fallen deity that gets off on chopping, cutting, hewing men in pieces through his prophets, that he gets off on murdering and destroying through his AHAK, the hopes and dreams and manifestations for a positive future by using his prophets. And he gets off on making us think that he really wants kindness between men when all he really desires is a bloody human sacrifice repeated over and over and over. And anytime anybody comes to him, they've got to go through a bloody sacrifice to get to him. What does that say about him? And what does that say about you that are willing to do it? And he's pissed that a very few of us, very few, have seen through his bullshit and are broadcasting the truth for all to hear. This is what it means. We have gone and learned it. Now we can understand the Matthew verse since we've gone and learned the parameters that surround it. Now we know what it means. Now we know what it means. And I know it's not easy. I know it's not simple. The Mistech helps you. The C60 helps you. And we want you to be triple ready. That's why we also work with the great people at Focused Life Force Energy. It's high consciousness on demand. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the fluffy logo, and you can get a 30 days free trial. Or, ladies and gentlemen, you can just go ahead and grab it for a great price. This is the best time to know since you're locked in at home. And I'm telling you, you put those three things together and the changes in your life will be remarkable. The optimization in your life will be remarkable in all phases and areas. So Matthew doubles down. We're back to that book of Matthew, chapter 9. What does double down mean? It means to strengthen one's commitment to a particular strategy or course of action, typically one that's potentially risky. So we know who wrote this. The Romans wrote this. Here they double down on the dark humor expressed in the Roman rendition of Hosea. Remember Hosea? We talked about it just a minute ago. Upon hearing this, now remember it said, go learn this. So we went and learned that. So now we can understand what is going on here. Matthew 9:12. HERU says, it's not the healthy that need a doctor, but the sick. Let me show you this so you know that I'm being above board with you. I don't want anybody to say, oh, he doesn't show it because he's lying. Well, I'm the only one that shows it because I'm the only one that's not lying. Everybody else just goes off on a tangent and tells you what they think about what it says. I'm going to show you it. But when HERU heard this, he said, those that are whole don't need a physician, but those that are sick instead. So let's go ahead and look at these words individually and glean some information from them. When he heard this, he said, it's not the healthy. Who are the healthy? The healthy are those that are strong. Whoops, I got to show you the actual scripture. And here it is. Those that are healthy are those that are, and I'll go back just so you can see I'm using the right word. On hearing this, he said, it's not the healthy. I click on healthy. Here's the word. The strong. Those that have power. If you remember the Cousins Club podcast last night, remember Esau was said to be strong and have power. Interesting. So it's those that are strong, those that have power, those that have health and vigor, those that are able, those that are going to prevail, the person that'll get into the fray, a person that'll engage the enemy. Those type of people don't need any pansy-ass little God mon. And he admits it. Look, those kind of people, they are not in need of a doctor, often Hebrews called the great physician. They don't need him. They don't need me, he says. What type of people don't need HERU? People that are strong, people that have strength, people that are healthy, people that get into the fray, people that aren't afraid to stand up and do their own business. They have power. And they're not the ones that need a doctor. And this means a physician, a healer of physical and spiritual disease. HERU is often called the great physician. So the only way that people need the great physician is if they can be convinced that they're sick. And what does sick mean? Let me show you here. This has fallen into place for a lot of you. The light bulbs are going off. But the sick, those that are bad, those that are evil, those that do wrongly, those that are wretched. Why do you think the doctrine of original sin was invented? To make you believe you're bad, to make you believe you're evil, to make you believe that you have wrong motives, to make you believe that you're bad, you're sinful from your first breath is what they want to tell you. And why do they want to tell you that? Because they want to make everybody sick. So they'll need this great physician, this HERU. When the reality is that until he gets a hold of us, we're healthy. Think of that a minute. Think of that a minute. Think of that a minute. Healthy means to be strong, to have power. When you're divine and you're sovereign and you're free, you're strong, you have power. When you're living a life that's abundant and even more than abundant, you're strong, you have power. When you are living a life that is has the peace that goes beyond understanding, you're strong, you have power, and you have no necessity. So what he's got to do is take strong, healthy, powerful people and convince them that they're wretched, wrong, broke down, cruel, evil, bad, and need him, the great physician, to fix them. He wants to save you from the sin he gave you, but he's got to convince you that you have it. And how does he convince you that you have it? He convinces you, folks, that you have it by chopping you, slicing you, dicing you, by his bitch-ass prophets, by the words of his AHAK. It's very simple. It's very easy to see. If I could get you to realize you're divine, you're sovereign, you're free, Christianity dies within 6 months. If I can get you to realize you're strong and that you have power and that you have no necessity for a healer of spiritual disease because you don't have it, we change the world. And that's why we are changing the world, because we are helping people realize that. He's here, I'm here to tell you you're strong. The prophets of the B-BLE, the prophets of the MON, the people that say they hear from fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, the people that believe the red letters, the people that believe the Bible, the people that talk about crosses and atonements and healings and saviors and salvation. I'm here to tell you that you're strong. They're here to convince you that you're cruel. I'm here to tell you that you're strong. They're here to tell you that you're evil. I'm here to tell you you've got power. They're here to tell you that you're wretched. I'm here to tell you you're powerful. They're here to tell you you've got wrong motives. You've got original sin. And unless you allow yourself to be hacked down in your spirit, in your reality, to the point where you will actually partake in a human sacrifice and eat flesh and drink blood and invite entities into your body, that's what it takes to be on Team HERU. Can you see it all? It all works together. It's all a plan. If you could get this, you would be free. If you could get this, you would never, ever feel frightened again. If you could get this. And I think you can. HERU wants to convince healthy, strong, powerful people that they have lack, so that they'll find the necessity in him and his matrix religion, so that he can be their healer of physical and spiritual disease that they do not have. He does this by convincing the healthy that they are sick, cruel, evil, wretched, and have wrong motives. This is the original sin doctrine. The Romans find this hilarious. And if you can see what is going on, see that it's Roman hilarity, then you learn how to crack the code by going and learning what it means, what they're really doing, chopping you, cutting you, slicing you, dicing you, trying to wreck, murder, kill you by the words of the prophets, of the Mon. And if they don't kill you physically, which they have a track record of doing, then they will try to destroy your hopes, your dreams, your desires, and steal away from you the power to manifest a positive future and get you to buy into their negative future. That's what prophets do. They get you to buy a negative future and then take your energy to support that negative future that they get paid for. It's a sad, sick con that the mon is pulling on you, and it's one that the Romans find absolutely hilarious. It's classic AHAK code. You see how it works. A nugget of disclosure sandwiched in between two pieces of deception. A nugget of disclosure sandwiched between two pieces of deception. Learn to see the pattern. Learn to set yourself free. Watch, look, listen, and you will be able to see it just like I see it, because I'm here to teach you how to see for yourself, how to hear for yourself, not to be your eyes and your ears. That will change your life if you'll let it. And we head into the chat room, and we talk a lot about spirituality, and sex is a very spiritual thing. And we talk a lot or at least I've been mentioning it a lot lately, that we're not even having enough babies to repopulate this place. And I think that's a bad thing. And the rocket is here to help both. If you go to getmyrocket.com/CWB, you'll get the best price available on the best piece of equipment to help your piece of equipment. That was really, really good. It'll break up the plaque that have built up in the veins in your equipment, and it will stimulate the growth of new capillaries in your equipment. More blood means better equipment, and it means a better sex life and a better life in general for you and your partner in intimacy. It's normally 20, 30 grand to get this done in a clinic. A fraction of that to have it done in your own home. The Rocket. GetMyRocket.com/CWB, baby, and get ready to lift off with the rocket. The lovely Cynthia says, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I thought it was create. Nope, chopped is correct. Absolutely. Elijah really chopped people up. That was a prophet. They really do. I'm not just making it up. I'm not just making it up. Oh, that's good. Steady Eddie says he's Plastic Manson. Beautiful. Sounds like Monarch programming. Ooh, well done. Well done. Keeping his hands clean. Ooh, very, very good. Very, very good. Nimrod chopped up. Drawing people into manifesting negativity. That's what it's all about. That's why the prophets are so negative, because they want you to manifest negativity with them. Doesn't that make you just want to be a Christian? No. Bad prognosis. That's right. My least favorite thing about not catching live shows is that I miss a lot from the live chat. It is still on the replays. It's just they're taking, Brandon, what it is they're taking so damn long now to review my podcast. I put one up, and it takes like until the next day before it to be reviewed and released. They're taking so much time to review my podcast because they're effing with me. But, you know, that's just the way they go. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about without disclosing information that they don't want to be disclosed. Let me see which one is. Let me just see what is up on the channel as we look, and I'll give you a really good example. All right. So we did the show with Halo. We just did the show with Halo, right? Earlier today. And if you look at my channel, and you're on my channel, so I'll go to this. I'll show you exactly what you're talking about. If you go to my channel, which is right here, you see that right now we're live. Let me get that off of there, Brandon. You can see right now we're live with this Mercy Not Sacrifice. And the last show that's available is this 100 proof prophecy is a Jesuit invention. That was done a day ago. The show that we just did with Halo, I'm going to stop it just to make sure they don't like you showing a lot of stuff in the back room. So I don't want to get even more in trouble. The one we did with Halo is right here. I'll show you this. I mean, I'm already demonetized. What are they going to do? Take my birthday? So here's the one that we did with Halo. It's sitting right here. And we did that like 4 hours ago. Before I got put on timeout restriction, demonetized, shows would pop up in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. This one has been 4 hours. And watch what happens when I try to go to the show. And let's say I wanted to do, I put those things that come up at the end of the show. It's called an end screen. Watch this. I want to go do an end screen. Oh, you can't because your video is still processing 4 hours later. So the live chat will come up, Brandon, long story short, short story long. It will come up whenever the experts at YouTube decide to quit taking 12 hours to review my videos, which used to take them 12 minutes. So that's what's going on, just so you know. It has nothing to do with anything I'm doing. If I had my way, they'd be ready, boom, just like that, because it costs me views. It costs everything. That's why we've got the Cousins Club, and you can click on that box on the lower right of the banner on my channel that says banned content, and you can find that all out there. So there you go. And it does become self-fulfilling prophecy. They always manifest negativity. They want you manifesting the negativity. And yeah, like Tracy said, once they get up there, you'll be able to see the chat. This is why we listen to Jeff. Thank you so much. Let's see. Tracy and Brandon going back and forth. Let's see. Cleave unto your wife. Ooh, cut yourself off from divine inspiration. No, I don't agree with that, because if you get it right, it works exactly the opposite way. Exactly the opposite way. They'll keep putting your butt back in the seat every week, begging for mercy. Yep. It's so upsetting. I try not to have emotional reaction, but when you see how brainwashed people are, it does. I have the same problem, Brandon. I have the same problem. It's still really hard for me. Only because you make it hard, Trish. Just let go. Just let go. Just let go. It feels, when you slam your hand in a drawer, it hurts, but it feels a lot better when you stop slamming your hand in the drawer. I'd like to be able to be nice to you, but you suck so much, I have to chop you down to size. Boom. That's what he says. I have to chop you up so you won't figure out how powerful you are and won't worship me. Boom. Powerful stuff, Tracy. Powerful, powerful stuff. I'm pissed that I gave up so much of my valuable time. Susan, let me help you out a little bit. I gave 20 years of my life convincing people to give up their life for this pipsqueak of a fallen God mon. We just got to do even more now in the positive way. And I think about it all the time, but we just got to do, and then I go and make another show because that's all I can do. That's all I can do. It's all I can do. It really is. All right. Don't fall for the Trojan horses. We are former Pentecostals, very, very formal. We are on to him. The gig is up, no doubt about it, 110. Don't get drugged down by the past. Cut the anchor and move forward. Great advice. Great advice. You can't go forward if you keep looking backward because you're going to run into something. You're going to run into something. Lots of great comments. I just can't show them all. I just can't show them all. Vodka and vacation. Such a good time to catch a cousin live. Hey, I always preach better with vodka. No coddling required, but you can have some cuddling. No shepherd required. Sheep need a HERU. Those who don't want to take responsibility for creating their own reality. It's much easier to just turn on YouTube and listen to a guy or a girl that hears from a god or a channel that tells them exactly what to do, what's going to happen, and how to, and that tells you exactly what's going to happen and what to do about it. Then you just listen to them. Then you know what's going to happen, and you know what to do, and you know what to think about it. No responsibility for you. That's why those of you that have those types of audiences have a great responsibility. And if you misuse that responsibility, I will marshal all my resources to come after you. Energetically, spiritually, non-physically, call you out, take you down to Chinatown. That's one of the things we do. That's one of the things we do around here. And some of you wish we didn't do it, but we do. And we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. All right, folks. All right, folks. We're getting down towards the end here. And I appreciate every one of you being here. I appreciate every one of you contributing. And I appreciate those of you that aren't contributing. Because even being here, you are contributing. We appreciate you very, very much. I agree with you, Jeff. YouTube is shut down and the other alternative public platforms when they can. Well, we got something for them. And we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Jonathan thinks Jeff is hilarious, but he studies. Really, Jonathan? Well, I appreciate you being here. And I know why you're here. And I know why you're not leaving. And I'm a very, very patient man. I'm a very, very patient man. We appreciate you guys, all of you. But it's tough when it's easy to fool people and hard to convince them that they've been fooled. Mark Twain said that. And it's even worse when what we try to do is just give them the facts and the information and let them figure it out on their own, because that's really the only way that it ever works. It ain't easy, but it's the only way to do it. And we are the last generation of real humans. We've been called for this time, for this job, because we're the cousins to get it done. In a world that is convinced that it's bad and getting worse, we're here showing that it's getting better by winning, and then winning again in the midst of everything against us. I appreciate you. And I'm here to remind you that you are the last generation of real humans. You are divine. You are sovereign. You are free. You are entitled to life and life more abundant, and to peace that passes all understanding. And for Tracy Dyer and our great moderators, for the lovely Cynthia, I'm Jeffey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, saluting you for being here, seeking after truth, and encouraging you to get busy.